Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Divine from Keeping Up with Divine. Thank you for coming if you're a return subscriber. Thank you for coming if you're new, and welcome. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for consistent content every Sunday, 6 p.m. UK time, and some Wednesdays for a bit of lifestyle content. So for those of you who don't know, this is a business channel where I'll be talking to you guys about my journey in self-employment, quitting my job, and everything I've learned up until now and in the future. So today's video is going to be 5 things which I wish I did or didn't do before I decided to embark on self-employment. Now, this isn't things which I wish I did within the last year. This is sort of things from the time I finished college. Like, I could have better prepared myself to be an entrepreneur and to be self-employed because I knew this is what I wanted to do. And there's certain things, if I could, I'd go back and I'd change. So without any further ado, let's get straight into today's video. So the first one is something which I'm sure you guys hear all the time. It's something that a lot of people bang on about, and I used to hear about this all the time. People used to recommend that I do this, but I just wanted to live my best life. Like, I just didn't really subscribe to this thought process, and I really wish I did, and that is saving. I got a really decent student finance, and I also used to work throughout the whole duration of my university, barring a couple of months. So if I had decided to use my student finance to pay my rent and, you know, pay my bills and just been a bit smarter with the money, I could have saved everything I was working for. Because now I came into self-employment and I quit my job with not as much savings as I possibly could have had. I feel like that would have set me up so well. And even when I finished uni, I got a decent job which paid a decent amount. And if I had just saved then, I would have had so much more money and so much more flexibility. Whereas now I'm having to do everything I can in order to make enough money just to make sure that I don't find myself in a sticky situation. Which that's not going to be the case if I'm honest, because I feel like I've now learned to be quite responsible with my money. But if I had saved, life would look so different right now. So for anyone who's looking to start a business or looking to go into self-employment at some point and you're still in university or you've just finished or wherever, just make sure you save as much as you can before it comes to that time of you quitting your job. I guarantee you, your process will be so much smoother and be dramatically less stressful for you, because you won't have to be worrying about money as much on a month by month basis. Because if you have a good savings, then you're good. You have like cushioning and it makes you comfortable, and you'll be able to focus your whole attention on other things. The second thing which I wish I did is I wish I'd made the most out of employment. Now, what do I mean by that? I hated employment so much that I wanted to do the bare minimum to get by and get paid. I didn't see nothing wrong with that at the time, and there's nothing wrong with it in all fairness, because I knew that I wasn't trying to climb the ladder and, you know, end up being a manager or a CEO or whatever of the companies which I was working at. However, I feel like I could have learned so much by fully immersing myself into the roles, because then if I did get a promotion, I would have been able to learn different aspects of business and I would have been able to see different things. I was never really inquisitive. I didn't care. I'd go to work, do what I'm paid to do, and go back home. If I had a do-over, I would literally just ask people who are working around me in different roles, like, oh, so what's this? How do you do this? Oh, why do you do that? You know, because these people are free resources you have around you. And if I had the opportunity for a promotion, I would have gone for it. Like, I would literally just go for it, attack it, because you can learn so many different skills that you might not know that you'll need at a later stage in business. Because I think also with the nature of business I'm in, I don't know if this is the same with everybody else, there's so many different roles involved, and I need to play admin, manager, recruiter, this, that. So I think it's good to just, whilst you're in employment, just immerse yourself in everything. Ask as many questions as you can, because these are your colleagues. These are free resources you have, instead of you having to later research the things in length and in depth to see exactly what the processes are for that job role. So I really wish I'd done that, made the most of my employment. The third thing is, I wish I had taken the opportunity to network with more people, because self-employment can be a bit lonely, sort of. Not lonely, but, you know, especially if you're working from home in this current climate, you don't have as many opportunities to physically network. So I wish in the time when I was in employment, I had networked with different people, because sometimes I was working in companies where I was in close proximity with the directors of the companies. Now they're entrepreneurs, and I never looked at it like that. I looked at it like they're my annoying boss, but I could have taken that opportunity to speak to them, really network, ask them questions. Do you know what I mean? This one sort of goes hand in hand with the last one, but I wish I'd done that. Or, you know, whilst I was in university, there's always that person who say, oh, I want to start a business, this. I should have spoken to them, picked their brains, networked with them, stayed in contact with them. Do you know what I mean? Because these could be resources that I have. Now, I'm blessed that I have a few people who I can turn to ask things about business. But if this wasn't to be the case, I don't know where I would have found these people from at this stage, especially in this pandemic. So I wish I had made the most of those free opportunities to network whilst I had the chance, because now I'm literally just in my house working from home. Of course, that's to do with the pandemic as well, but there's less opportunities for networking in my current position. Number 4, I studied forensic investigation. Now, I knew before I went to university that I don't want to be a forensic scientist. Now, one would ask, why did you go and study that, Sensei? Well, I wanted to get a degree to make my family proud, to make my parents proud, my aunties and everybody. So I just thought, what am I interested in? And for anyone who knows me, you know I'm interested in crime and criminal activity and stuff. I knew it wasn't the career I wanted. I just enjoy watching it on TV. So I thought, you know what, I'll go do a degree in that. If I could go back and choose a different degree, I would have chosen something that would slot in nicely with business. I don't think I would have done business studies per se, but I would have studied something like accounting, digital media, or something that's going to feed into most businesses. You know what I mean? Because if I had done accounting, for example, it would have made things so much easier with arranging payroll and accounting for myself and things like that. I just wish I had done a degree that's more tailored to business as a whole. I didn't know which kind of business I wanted to run, so I can't say I would have done a business in a specific thing, in a specific business, but I would have studied one aspect of business that would have really helped me out at this point, because right now it's like I'm learning so many new things, which is lovely, it's great to learn, but if I could have done this as part of my degree, it would have made my degree worthwhile, and it would have been skills that I'm actively using. Whereas now, the only thing I've taken from my degree is like the people skills and just being able to write an essay and stuff, and I don't really know how that helps me currently, but I don't know, the literacy skills and the grammar, I don't know, like my degree in itself, what I actually learned in university, like what the lecturer was teaching me, is a bit pointless to me at this point. So I wish I had done a different degree. I'm not going to go back to university and do a different degree, don't get me wrong, but if I could do it again, I would have done something different. And the 5th and final point is getting a car on finance. I wish I hadn't done that, because when I finished uni, I got a job, it was making me nice money, and then I got a car on finance, which I could afford at the time, but I knew I wanted to be self-employed. So that wasn't a very wise decision. Although I didn't know when I was going to quit my job, I knew that at some point I am going to quit and I'm going to be self-employed. And then I feel like in my head, it didn't click that what you can afford now is not necessarily what you can afford then. Now, don't get me wrong, I can afford my car and I pay it monthly and I don't have any issues with that, but it's just a large chunk of money which I don't have to be paying, because there's nothing more difficult than trying to get rid of a car that's on finance. Take it from someone who's trying. Like, if I could do it again, I had a little Corsa before, I wish I'd kept that. And if there's anything I can do to not be on finance so then I can own my own car, I'd love to do that, because you have to think monthly, you're paying your road tax on a normal car, you're paying your car insurance on a normal car, you're paying fuel on a normal car. Now I have to pay finance as well. Now, I really don't think there's anything anybody could have told me to not get this car, so I don't know whether I can call this a regret or whatever, because I really wanted it and I went for it and I can afford it. That's the great thing. But it's not every situation where people will be able to just quit their jobs knowing that they have this extra liability on top of everything else. So I really wish I hadn't done that. And if I could do over, I'd just wait until my businesses are making enough money for me to comfortably have a steady stream of income in them and then get a car on finance. Now, with that all said though, I really do love my car, so it's a regret, but I'm okay with it because I love my car. And in as much as I'd love to get rid of it, I also love having it. So it's sort of a juxtaposition. Don't know if that's the right word. It's a 50-50. I'm happy either way, whether I get to keep my car or I don't. But I'd rather not have to be making that extra payment. I wish I just owned it. So yes, that is the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you found great value in this video. And if you did, please make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment down in the box and share this video, because you never know who else needs to hear it. Maybe you know someone who's wanting to start a business or just about to go to university, and this might be something that can help them. So thank you guys for coming, and I'll see you next Sunday.